This video will also be part of the Artist Appreciation Series. Good morning, everybody. We're going to continue the Artist Appreciation Series and the Paul Simon Graceland series with a video on one of my favorite a cappella groups, Ladysmith Black Mambazo. The first time that I heard of them was, of course, on Paul Simon's Graceland, particularly on Homeless and Diamonds on the Soles of Their Shoes. But Ladysmith Black Mambazo got their start in the early 70s, I think around 74, 73, but you'll have to check the screen recording. They come from a township in South Africa called Ladysmith. That's where they got the name, or the first part of their name. And I don't remember what Joseph Shabalala, the lead singer and the leader of the group, said Black Mambazo meant, um, but um, but like I said, the first time I had heard of them was on Graceland. And I was watching the classic album episode. Um, I was watching the classic albums episode on Graceland, and Paul was talking about recording with Ladysmith Black Mambazo and how difficult it was to because they had never recorded with a Western artist, and their harmonies, the way they sing, is so complex that basically they couldn't figure out how to do it, but they finally did, and what they came out with on Diamonds and Homeless is just masterful. And um, you know, uh, Paul Simon and in particular Joseph Shabalala became brothers. From other mothers, so to speak, and they had always thought of themselves as brothers, and they remained so up to, I assume, when Joseph died in 2020. And they have several. Um, they sang together several times after Graceland. Once on the Born at the Right Time tour when Paul was touring behind uh, Rhythm of the Saints, and again and once um, when Paul was presented the Gershwin Prize, they had a tribute concert for him. And once again, in 2012, when Paul did the mini Graceland reunion in Hyde Park. And so, they have always been, they had always been very, very close. And it was Ladysmith Black Mambazo that really kind of helped, along with Stabella, which was basically the Graceland band that Paul played with, that really helped bring South African music the West, to the United States, and the and Graceland as an album was a huge success, and we'll get into more of that when we actually do the album review. But from the first time that I heard Ladysmith, I just immediately fell in love with them, and are they are one of my favorite a cappella groups. Oh, and by the way, we will not be having uh, a background track, background music for this video, and they released albums of their own, and uh, and one of my favorite Ladysmith Black Mambazo songs is "Hello, My Baby." Um, it's a song that I first heard on. I was listening to one of their live records from the Montreux Jazz Festival, and then I seeked out the studio version of it. And but and I just love them. And unfortunately, Joseph passed away in 2020. I'm not sure of what, but um, and I never got a chance to see them live. I would have loved to have seen them live with Joseph in the band. But now his son takes over, and leads the group. Sometime in the 90s, Joseph's brother Headman Shabalala was murdered. Um, and if you want to hear the story of that, um, although I don't know why you would, but if you want to hear what happened, you should check out Paul's video, Born at the Right Time, which documents the recording of Rhythm of Saints and the Born at the Right Time tour. And so, um, but so anyway, if you haven't heard of Ladysmith Black Mambazo, please check them out, and you won't be sorry. Ladysmith Black Mambazo pictured here with Paul Simon during the Zimbabwe show of the Graceland tour in 1987. Background information. Shot and produced by Edinburgh. Audio and video provided by WeVideo. Photo taken from Google Images. Screen recording taken from Wikipedia. Achieved using iPicky.com.